Hi. Hi.
Hello and welcome along to the stream, another Friday night stream that we're doing here today. As you can see, we're currently loaded into FSX on the ground at Tenerife in Spain, which I would imagine is a lot sunnier than over here in the UK, which is where we're going to be flying back to. Actually, we're going back to Gatwick in the 757. It's about just over 3 hours. The exciting part about today, though, is that I'm going to be demonstrating a new autopilot with FSX, and of course it works with P3D, called FS Tramp, which I'll talk about a little more when we get into the cruise. But basically it's a replacement for FSX Pilot, which will fly the aircraft a lot better. So hopefully this will serve as a bit of a demo as well, but it's just going to be a bit of a flight and a stream. All the people coming into the chat, hello, welcome to the stream. Again, restream chat is a load of rubbish, so I can't actually see what your names are, but I will actually look. I will actually look on my phone. Let me just check. Abhishek, hello. Yeah, so that's alright. People will come into the chat, and that's just it'll just work as it does with the restream chat, 'cause it's a bit awkward. Right, I guess we can get things going. So we're sat at Tenerife currently. The weather, as I say, is probably a lot better here. Oops. So what do we need to do? I guess we can actually load stuff into FS Tramp. So here's how you do it. So just stand by, because we're going to be doing a bit of admin stuff here for a little bit. So as you can see, it brings up FS Tramp, and we're going to use screen review. Once we just have to let the FS Tramp interface actually load.
FS Tramp, map 1, scroll icon. Microsoft Flight Simulator X. Screen review, land.
There we go.
Top, land.
Oh, okay, we've got the focus bug. This is going very well.
FS Tramp, map 1.
There we go. Right, okay. So if we go up here, we can go to
map 1. ADF 028 nav 2 1 nav 1 6 5 31 ID AC1 AVO 1 after flight out 5 plan tools L
plan right here. I already have a sim brief plan with the SID on it today. It does have a specialised departure, which is always good.
Hi, going to try the premiere.
You're going to try the
What's up,
premiere.
Dick?
Nice, great. Who else is that? What's up? Yeah, hi Alex, welcome along to the stream. You're going to like the stream, Alex. We're flying a Rolls-Royce 757. I like the sound of these engines. I'd imagine you do as well. Right, that's the PLM we're doing, so let's load that. So hopefully the plane will be a lot more stable today, because obviously we're using a different autopilot system. Right, so then we want to go to autopilot. What's our altitude set to? Autopilot there.
I think you are using headphone mic. It is very creepy.
What? Let me have a look. Let me just let that load. Is it working with the headset? Yeah, the headphone mic is alright. The reason it sounds weird to you, I think, is because it's got a like a filter on it. So basically, when I stop talking, it stops. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, the reason it sounds weird.
It's working.
It's working.
I don't know what the problem is because there isn't one.
Yeah, there is no problem with it. I think when I stop talking, it stops picking up audio, so that you don't constantly have the sound of my computer fan. So it's working. It's alright. Right, then we're going to go to fly plan, right there. You can hear it's made that noise, so it is loaded. 34,000 feet it seems to have set for the altitude and all that stuff. So, we're going to start the engines. Let's actually get these going, shall we? Sister's being very loud. Imogen in the chat. I've already seen her in the chat. These RB211s.
Is this filter a specialized effect for that headset only, or would I be able to set it up off mine?
It's OBS. I imagine that's Marshall. Yes, Marshall. Yes, it's OBS. So it won't work unless you're streaming.
Nice metal screen, but you're not doing it correctly.
I've no idea. Is that supposed to say screamer? Right, so our RB11s are started. We're pretty much ready to go, which is how quick this works. Let's get the flaps out. And I'm sure people will drop in during the stream, so I'll talk them through FS Tramp if necessary, because I'm sure there'll be... I'm sure they'll want to know more info about it. Let's just keep these flaps going out. Right, they look pretty much out. Oops. So we're pretty much just going to take off, get up in the air, pull the gear up, and FS Tramp should fly us away. Enjoy the sounds of this aircraft then as we go.
Yes, it is. I was talking to Imogen, who was screaming in the background. And I'm using dictate as I'm waiting for my computer to load.
Right, well, we are up. FS Tramp has control. As you can see, it's brought the power back, as it will do in this aircraft. Quite a bit. But it should add more power in, because of the ground speed. Let's see on Project Fly, as you can see, climbing nicely. 232 knots, so that will sort itself out. That takeoff sound was beautiful with the whole buzz. Beautiful. Just love it. So let's see with FS Tramp where we're headed. But basically it has the aircraft under control, so I can just sit back. Okay, so we're going straight up to cruise rather, so there's no altitude restrictions. 1400 feet per minute right there, which is interesting. I thought it'd be able to climb a bit more than that, but okay. I guess it's sticking to some sort of restrictions here, so I will just let it do its thing and leave you with some views. How's the CPU and stuff? Oh, easy. Yeah, that takeoff sound is lovely, and when you haven't got FSXP talking over the top.
S, S, S. 250, 1400, alt. 1400 FT slash min, alt. 34,000, alt. 1400 FT slash min. Alt. 1400 FT slash 34,000. 1400 F 250. 1400 FT alt. 1400 FT slash min. 39%.
Interesting that we're still at 1400 feet per minute. I guess it's trying to meet restrictions here. So as you can see, it's just managing it with the autopilot, setting the speeds, etc. And the power is very stable. So it's so easy because I can just sit back and allow it to fly the route, which is really easy for me.
Alt 1400 FT slash alt 34,000 alt 1400 F 250. S.
There's a flyby.
A.
How did your exam go?
A. S, S, S.
Who said that? How did my exam go, Marshall? Sociology?
S.
We didn't do a lot, put it that way.
S, S. S, S.
It was alright.
S, S.
Yeah, I love these RB211s on departure. They're so...
S.
Kind of sounds like the Airbus in some ways, but then you get the kind of higher pitch and a bit more bass of the RB211s. It's very good.
Yes. 250, 1400 FT slash min.
Right, we're still... Where are we?
Altitude 6,696.
Climbing very slowly, as we will be.
Rank 01 FS Tramp.
I can get us to climb a bit faster actually, which I may just go and do. If we, and this is a tip for those using FS Tramp, so if you go into plan here,
context menu. Oh, save
aircraft, so you can see that's set to 15. Oh, I thought I changed that from 1500, but okay. Oh, I guess I didn't change it. Yeah, so you can climb at more than 1500 feet per minute. That's very slow for departure. So what we're going to do is, let's see if we climb at, say, 2200. And that's set to 32,000, but we were going direct to 34,000 actually. So we'll set that to 34,000. Let's have a look at the speed. That can go up as well. Perfect. So I'll click OK on that, and it will get the plane to climb a little bit faster.
Yes, okay. I have understand. Sorry for the late response. Actually, there were problem with my internet connection, but now it is okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's absolutely
my
fine.
favorite aircraft with the Rolls-Royce engines are the AV-8B Harrier and the P-51 Mustang.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, we don't have the former, but we do have the P-51 in the sim. Not with the best sounds, but I'm sure I could get a better sound pack. Yeah. I mean, the only ones I really fly with it in are the 7.5 and the 7.4. That's the only ones I've flown. As you can see now, we're climbing a lot faster, which is better. So that'll help us. What's our altitude? Climbing pretty fast now. It's better.
I can't understand which game are you playing.
This is FSX, Abhishek. This is Flight Simulator X. This is not Eurofly. which is why this sound is a lot better, and we're doing some different procedures. So this is a different simulator. It's a lot more difficult to learn, but it's also a lot more realistic. There goes the power as we get past 10,000 feet. Let's increase the speed as it is, automatically, easy. 295 knots that's going to.
Yes, 0.53. Yes, 295.
Ah, okay.
So this flight is about
Okay, debrief me afterwards on Skype or something in private.
yeah, it was alright,
Can
Marshall,
you
it was
provide
fine.
the link of that game?
It's this particular game is FSX and it's off Steam, so you'd have to get it off Steam. The other simulator that I use that I can get you the link for is if you Google Lockheed Martin's Prepar, Prepar. That is a more up-to-date version. I have both. We're currently in the FSX, but if you want FSX, you can get it off Steam.
S.
Steam, of course, is not very accessible, which is a problem.
S. 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 Track flight project flight altitude 14,800 ground speed 346 kts. Rank 01 FS Tramp. Property page 3 fly holding N. Auto 355.
Yeah, you can see we've got, that's the heading that it's currently aiming for. We're going for 34,000.
I'm now on a physical keyboard, so I should be able to send more stuff.
Alright, yeah, Marshall.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's you.
I will search.
Yeah, if you have a look for it on there, that's where you'll find FSX. Obviously going up at 1700, which is fine. 0.58 on the mark. You can just see how stable it is, though. It's a lot better than FSXP in terms of its power.
The scream comment was aimed at Imogen.
I thought so, Marshall, I thought so.
Are you a programmer?
I a programmer? No, I'm not a programmer. I've never written... Well, I was going to say I've never written a line of code in my life, but that's not true. I have coded, but very basic stuff. A few scripts here and there, and a few HTML pages, but no, I'm not a programmer.
I could come on Skype, but your internet would probably fuck itself completely.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Marshall.
Did you get a lot of hot air balloons on the STEM edition, though?
Did I get a lot of hot air balloons? No, there's no hot air balloons at all. It'd be interesting to try one, but there isn't any, unfortunately. You might be able to get one as an add-on, but no hot air balloons at all, no.
S.
I got a space shuttle add-on once, but it flew like a plane and landed like one, so it was kind-o pointless.
Yeah, there's a load of add-ons for FSX. This 757 is an add-on. The sound pack is an add-on. So there are a lot of add-ons, but yes, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can get for it. How are we doing? 373 on the ground speed and coming through 19600. Yeah. It does. I don't know why FS Tramp does seem to like to climb this plane a little bit slowly. No idea why, but it just does. So I guess it's getting it from SimBrief or the autopilot itself.
Maybe that's only on multiplayer.
What, the hot air balloons? Yes, it's probably on multiplayer. I've never. Well, actually, I may have seen one. I've seen a guy called Air Force Proud 95 on YouTube that does like multiplayer ridiculous videos.
I did do a simulated landing into KTTS, the shuttle landing airport, and I tried to land it at our local airport once.
Yeah. That's yes, there is a, like I said, there is a space shuttle add-on for FSX, but I don't think it would fly.
I think the reader which read the chats of YouTube I want read the emoji because it hasn't read my previous message.
Yes, Abhishek, I saw your previous message, but it didn't read it, so yeah, I think it won't read emojis, obviously, for some reason. It's not the best reader, but it's all I have. Well, it's all I can use, really. There isn't much other choice, so it is what it is, basically.
S.
We came down like a rock at -7000 ft/min from FL800.
Oh dear, I'm sure that must have hurt her and hit the ground.
S.
Oh.
A.
We landed like a plane, probably with an FSXP generic -800 landing rate.
S. S. S.
Is there any accessible ship simulator?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think there is. There may be a few like audio games, but they're probably more like arcade games than actual ship simulators. I always said I wanted a proper racing sim or like truck sim, but of course there isn't one at the moment, so we're just yes.
S. ES 295 14 up all 34,000 all 14 up 2 up ES 0.68.
So the speed is coming up nicely, coming through to 24,500-ish.
358 at 24,570 FT 1400 FT /min 290 KTS 113.70 MAV 110.60 MAV 2024.08. S. 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 Fly holding in, autopilot, 358. HDG, 30 degrees max tank, 34,000, alt, 1300 FT slash 200 Mach, 200, 0.72. ES. S. S. Track flight altitude 28,809, ground 445 kt. Rank 01 FS Tramp. Property page 35 deck 28,000. Flight autopilot 0 H 30 third alt 1200 FT slash 209 ES. Mach 340 Mach 0.75 ES.
Doesn't seem to be reading the messages on the restream chat. Can you suggest a good simulator for what? Flight sim? Well, really depends what your system specs are. Yeah, it's. What should you set the Premiere? Yeah, probably like the Citation. You just have to sort its speeds out. Why haven't we done it at full power? I guess because we're climbing. I would imagine it looks alright. Where you will get what? The sim? Well, like I say, FSX you can get off Steam. What are your system specifications, like your RAM and CPU? Yeah, it would be fun to have a ship sim. Yeah, construction sim would be good. There's a lot of sims I'd like. I like sims. You need to, but yeah, I know restream chat, Marshall. I know. I don't know what's going on with that. It's been weird. Doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be reading the messages out.
Round 456, 31,600. Rank 01 FS Tramp.
Yeah, we should be alright. The gear's definitely pulled up and held all the flaps, so we should be just fine. It's looking alright. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's climbing at 1100. I guess we're pretty heavy as well. 0.80 there. Yeah, I know you did, Marshall. I don't think that's happened today. So you have an i3 with 4GB RAM. Yeah, you want to go for FSX then. So you'd have to get that off Steam. You don't want to go P3D with that. You'd have to get FSX. So you could get that off the Steam application. Oh, I think we're back over the ocean.
30 degrees max HDG. 30 alt. 1100 FT/min. 209 PS. Mach. 340. 0.82.
Right, we're looking alright. The altitude is well, we're pretty much up to cruise, so we'll be able to start bringing that power back.
29 at 33,410 FT. 1100 FT/min. 270 KTS. 113.70 mag 110.
I wonder if, let me just check actually what, because you see this should be
top rec plan tools L context menu save your toggle with aircraft F rec 01 F aircraft dialog altitude FT rate name the autopilot of the current remote simulates aircraft is incompatible or missing as a replacement the FS Tramp autopilot and all and words as a complete autopilot the simultaneous use of the autopilot in the cockpit and FS Tramp is a bad idea checkbox not check alt plus rec 01
yeah, it is using the correct autopilot.
Property page 28 at 33,700 fly holding M autopilot map 0 to 8 S S S S HDG 30 degrees back 34,000 all 4 0900 FT/min 295 290 ES 290 ES 0.83.
So we're looking like we're leveling off at cruise in a sec.
52%. S S S S
Yep, so we should be at cruise. Well, we pretty much are. That's the ground speed. I can't remember where it had the power yesterday, so I don't know whether... I think this is about where it had the power. But you really hear the engines more in this view. I wonder how much more... Yeah, I think we're pretty much... well, not full power, but...
HDG 30 degrees max 34,000 volt 0000 FT/295 ES 0.83.
Yeah, we are looking good at cruise. Yeah, try AFP, Marshall, if it doesn't have it. What happened to the stream chat? Oh, it bugged out. It stopped reading out messages. It's being a pain. I can try and restart it, but it probably won't work. I don't like this application. Let me see if I relaunch it. It may redo itself. Probably won't though, because it's not very good. Sarah, hi. Yeah, it seems to be a restream chat issue. It's being rubbish. They made updates to it, which yeah. Please enter a message.
Hello. Try restarting restream
Oh, there
chat.
we go. Hello,
Had that
restream
issue
chat.
last week.
You useless.
Can we
pieces
make
of
aircraft speed above 10,000 in Eurofly? Restream has been acting funny ever since the last update.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's the last update. It was a bad update because once the updates, or they changed it from the old application style, they removed the reading out of names from chat, which was annoying, and then they broke something with it as well. Can we add speed above 10,000 with Eurofly? Well, you can do it manually. about 530 kilometers per hour equates to 250 knots. So if you go to that below 3,000 meters, which is 10,000 feet, and then speed up after that, which is what I do, you are sort of doing it. But Eurofly, it's you know, it is what it is.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, you can see how stable the power is with FSX, not with FSX, with FS Tramp compared to FSXP.
Yes.
Also, I noticed that the sounds of the wind disappear at times. Sarah, are you a YouTuber?
You notice that the sounds of the wind disappear at times in...
Yes.
Like, that's because I've changed view. Do you mean, or you mean in P3D?
Yes.
I'll try OFP and I'll try a flight from LFPG to EGNT at FL380.
Yeah, alright,
Sarah
Marshall,
here.
let me know how it goes.
Yes, I am. Just click my channel name in the chat.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sarah does streams.
Yes.
I don't know how often you do them, but yeah.
Restream chat
Where's Project Fly? Oh, wow,
Good night, guys.
Alright, see you
Sarah
later.
here.
Whoever that was.
No, I guess it's when you hang views.
There we go, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, change views, yeah, it's the outside. Abhishek says good night, thank you, see you later. Yeah, we've got some,
Okay.
12:57.
I'm waiting on my mom to get home so I can shoot a review of the new excavator that I bought last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so it's... What was I going to say? Yeah, with Restream Chat, I can usually tell who people are, but if you are new, just stick your name at the start and make it easier.
Yes.
So mock speed, let's see. Oh, you bugger off, focus bug. Just relaunch it with Control F12 and that's... We'll get it back. 0.83. That'll do us. See if we have time to do another flight when we get down. I have some flight requests after going. Let's tell you what, let's go and have a look.
Sarah
at,
here.
Oh,
Yeah, I've not been streaming as of late. I won't go into detail here. Jeremy, your headset is slightly distorted.
Yeah, it's because it's because, well, I assume dictation is why it says Jeremy. The headset's distorted because the OBS settings, when I was recording a video the other day, it was too quiet, so I had to place a microphone boost setting on, but because this aircraft doesn't seem to be as loud, it's over the top. Tell you what, maybe if I put it down there it won't be so loud, because I've just moved the microphone a bit away.
Yes.
Maybe that's just a temporary fix.
Yes.
The boost probably wouldn't.
No, it's the boost that's distorting it, Marshall, because it makes it louder. It just trebles the sound. Yeah, that didn't actually make it any better. I guess I could sort of just move it away a bit like that.
Not change while you're live.
Yeah.
Sarah here. Try putting the mic maybe above the nose a bit.
Yeah, I see that this headset's weird, because if I put it up too much it mutes the mic, which is helpful, because like that's why you always hear the click when I just go like that, because it's me moving it up to put it away. I'll tell you what, I'll just try to speak a bit quieter. I don't know, if I move it up a bit, it's weird. Sometimes, like last week's stream it was good.
Yes.
This week's stream it seems too loud.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Sarah here. I have a loud voice, so for me I always have issues. LOL. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't help.
Yes.
I guess that doesn't help at all.
Yes. Yes.
I could turn the volume of the sim up, but I don't think that'll actually help, because
You
it'll
were
just...
fine at your current level, just don't scream into it.
I'm not going to scream into it, Marshall. You can go back to... I assume that's Marshall. Yeah, you can go back to all the streams. I've never screamed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's...
Yes.
It was alright last week, so I
Jeremy,
don't know why.
Yeah, just watch how hard you hit it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's a headset. You'll all get used to it.
Yes.
The reason people don't like audio is because it's... they're not used to it.
Yes.
Yet,
Once you get
were
used to
you
it.
close when the remote thing happened?
Yes.
Was I close to screaming when the remote thing happened? No. I was very close to having a very a rant at whoever had done it. I still don't know who did it. Because that's what that click is whenever I move it up, because there's like a click in the microphone when I move it up, so when I do that that's why you hear the like the on stream when I mute the mic if I finish talking, so that's why it does that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, just as a quick recap for people who aren't used to FS Tramp, so it's very easy. For the very basic level, you just get your SimBrief flight plan, which is what I got as a PLN, or any other PLN actually. You can get it off online flight planner if you want. Then you use screen review. You can see, you can navigate the interface, and it's these two buttons right at the top. Plan and tools. Plan is the main one that you're going to need. You can open your plan in there, so it'll open the plan and load it into FST. You can go down here. Keep going down. There you go. You see it says fly plan. You can click that. That will start your plan, but before you do that you have to click the autopilot to turn that on. So you do autopilot, you just activate it with NVDA, do left click, and that will do that, and then you go up and click fly plan. That will start the plan. Then you go back into the sim, get the plane ready for takeoff. Just go full power with F4, make sure you do the flaps and gear when you get in the air, and it will do the rest. Of course you have to do flaps and gear on approach as well. Yeah, this mic has been a very good headset. It's from Corsair, and Corsair have been a very good brand. I also have a wireless headset that has a mic. The quality is not quite as good as this, but obviously it's wireless. Yeah, I think the chat is messed up again, Marshall. Alex said about the it's military. Yeah, I've never really taken much of an interest in military. I don't fly any military actually in the sim. I just don't find it very interesting. I prefer civilian aircraft a lot more, but yes. Let's do a flyby. I mean, I like flying the F-18, I guess, but I like the real world flights a lot more, like the scheduled civilian routes. So just like, you know, loading an F-18 and flying randomly, I don't like, because of the lack of realism. But it really depends what you enjoy flying. If you enjoy flying military, then it's you know, you can get good stuff. And something like Platinum or whatever people use for military now is great. Like Project Fly, you wouldn't use Project Fly for military. There's just no reason to, because it has no military. But if you want to do civilian like I do, Project Fly is the best add-on. So. But like, it does work good actually. It flies aircraft in FSX and P3D a lot better. So it's a lot easier to do flights with it, because it takes a lot of the workload away. It flies like the flight management computer of an aircraft would. See, the power's very stable. We're not jumping around. It's all stable. So we're just cruising along. It flies it very well. The interface is a bit more clunky and it's a bit more difficult to navigate, but it's very very good at flying the aircraft. I hate restream chat. I wish there was some other add-on. I only use it because it's all we have. But it's so much easier to have the messages read out, otherwise I have to keep checking it on my phone, but there's not much I can do. Let me just relaunch it. It usually works when I relaunch it. Chrome error. Yeah, it's just been a pain. I can't be bothered with it. It's not very good. I'll just read it on my phone. So if I am a bit behind on messages, then don't worry, I will get to you. It's good old restream chat, just having a fun day here. Yeah, the Eurofly WhatsApp group has been a bit quiet recently, hasn't it? I guess there's just not much to say. I mean, Eurofly. I did make some new mods actually though, Borak, which I should upload. I added some like truck sounds to airports and some like more outside aircraft sounds. But yeah, there's not a lot to say really, I guess, until Eurofly 3 comes. It's the same old, same old. I have had a bit of one back, and this headset doesn't help because it's so like, it's so like when you listen to the stream back, it literally sounds like it's being rammed down my throat. Yeah, you don't have to do that. So I'll just read it because restream it just keeps stopping and then it throws an error, so it's just easier for me to read it. I guess that is one thing, Alex. The military jets will produce very good, you know, sound effects because of their speed, etc. Serial mouse, yeah. I don't usually, I don't know, like, streaming is good, but if mine goes over like 4 or 5 hours, I start to get like bored. It's like, oh. I think it really depends, but there's only so much that, you know, amount of time that you can actually hold an audience. I guess it depends what you do as well. If you play different games, it's probably alright, but with Flight Sim, it gets repetitive, I guess, after a while. Why do you hate online flight planner, Marshall? What's it done?
S.
Over the sea at the minute because the you can always tell when you're over the sea in P3D or FSX because the other view, you usually have 2 outside views, but one of them disappears when you're over the ocean. So we must be. Marshall, it's been slow. Oh, why? Okay, that's weird. It's not usually too bad. Sorry, yeah, the different games, I guess. If you do different games, that's always like, even if I was doing different games, I wouldn't want to stream for that long, just because it gets. I guess I have so much I haven't even been able to find a lot of time to stream over the past few months. Like, I've started this sort of thing where I try and do it on a Friday evening because I'm usually free, but I don't usually have that much time, and I think I get bored. But I guess if it's different games, and yeah, but it probably takes a bit of recovery as well. For 9 hours, wow. Let's see what my CPU's on. Very good, actually. That's alright considering it's streaming. It's got all the other stuff as well. Let's just see if Restream chat's back. Nah, it's not going to work today. We'll just leave it because it's. I don't know what it means. Chrome error. There's no Chrome error, so. Bad Alex, I bet. Yeah, it's they're very I guess I don't know what the word is. I was going to say geeky, but like there's a special sort of aura that surrounds military jets, I guess. Marshall, yeah, I guess you should get some more. I mean, i3 and 4 gig of RAM is a bit ugh. Like, I'm on an i5 and an 8 gig and I still want more, but it is what it is. Because I can't get more RAM in it, so I'd have to get a new CPU or a new system completely. But it's just fine. As you can see, even when streaming and running flight sim, it's still just alright, yeah. I'm sure there was there. We'll see. I'll have to have a look at some of your videos. I haven't like I wouldn't watch a whole. Is the whole 9 hours archive there? See how far we got to go. Good ground speed there. Oh, got ages. Oh well, we've got something to keep us occupied at least. That's what I thought. Why I would stream and keep me occupied. Right, okay, Marshall. Yeah, I heard the one from the other day. That was well, let's actually go and see what flight requests we've got, because we could probably, well, I won't do them today, but I may do some more flights over the weekend or the week, so let's actually see what we've got to do, because there's quite a few.
Menu. Flight request stream word. Milanda spelling error mouse Canada 777.
That was in Eurofly. I don't know about that one.
Spelling error off the spelling error Equinate 380.
That was Eurofly as well, I think.
Spelling error Vosta spelling error 5 to 330 300.
Those are the airport codes.
Spelling error Kit spelling error low to 737 900.
That could be a good one. Going into where was it? Was it
low. W out of spelling error space.
Salzburg, I think, or Austria.
Reagan Airport to spelling error Logan Airport to 767.
That was on Eurofly, but that could be a good one.
Zagreb to spelling error Dubrovnik 319 or Q400.
That could also be fun. That was on FSX.
Spelling error Kulik KMDW 737 spelling error FSX. Out of spelling error KMDW.
Yeah, there's that one as well, which you could do.
Istanbul to Baku spelling error FSX.
That was Borax, I think. Istanbul to Baku.
JFK spelling error spelling error Dominican Republic 300 spelling error FSX.
That was also Borax, and was that Borax? I can't remember.
Yeah.
That was the last one we've got. So yeah, there's a few there we could have a look at.
Menu. Documents row 1 column.
Oh wait, documents.
S.
Alex, you're really excited about seeing the Thunderbird. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good.
Yes.
They're not all archived, okay. Are they just like snippets of it? Okay, well that sounds interesting, sir.
Yes.
Max speed for the one positive. What was the max speed for what? The Premiere? As in set where? With OFP? Can this autopilot taxi? No, Boak. No, it can't. Basically, you can just take off. And the autopilot, well, yeah, it basically engages as soon as you take off. So it will, and then it will take you to the runway, and then about 100 feet above the runway, it will disconnect the AP, and you have to land it. So I just idle the throttle, and we'll get down. But it can't actually take off. But you don't really need it to take off. But the taxi, like you say, is very important for like VATSIM, but it can't. So the only method of taxiing we have is either just to spawn the aircraft or to just use the FSXP taxiing, which is just bad. Oh, the citation profile. Its max speed is 1 point. I don't know where it's got that from. That's very weird. Perhaps it's a specific model of citation that can go really high. I have no idea. That's very weird. Yeah, so was a girl, Alex. Yeah. Borak, anything? No, it's been quiet as the grave. There is no. Well, I don't think there's been an email on the list for weeks, really. We haven't seen any return of the old, you know, the old jokers like Gilberto or all those, you know, his lot. I'm surprised, really. I thought, given his nature, he would have made a new email account or used another one and come back, and I'd have to keep banning him, but he didn't. He just went like, okay, see you. But yes, the email list has been very, very quiet. I guess it will be for a while until there's new announcements about Eurofly 3, although you know, who knows when that'll be. So how am I? Oh, I just don't have it playing, so I can view the chat in YouTube, but without. So I click live, obviously, to get to the point where I'm at, and then just click pause, so I can just view the chat on my phone without having to hear it back.
S.
Yeah, Marshall, it will do that. In the aircraft dialogue, the speed and Mach, the indicated airspeed and Mach are linked. So I'm guessing, where were you at? Were you at an altitude? But if you put 290 in, that shouldn't, yeah, that shouldn't usually go to that much. But I guess it depends what cruise altitude you've put in. If you've put 43,000 in, then it could very well be that. But yeah, if you change one of them, the other one is most likely to change as well. So you can just bring it back down, just to whatever you think it should be at cruise. Obviously, SimBrief will usually give you a you know, a different speed anyway. Alex, yeah, I'm sure he's getting stuff done. I haven't heard much from him, but I would assume he is. He's not one for releasing, you know, weekly updates or something. He will. It's more just when there's an announcement or a new version. But I said this before, I always get to a point with modding Eurofly where you get to a point that you're like, I've done all I could possibly do with the resources he's given, and I'm probably at that point with Eurofly too. Like, as I said, I've recently added more airport sounds, but you get to a point where you can't mod anymore because of the limitations of the current platform. If you see what I mean. So it's kind of just wait for Eurofly 3 and fly with Eurofly 2 as it is. But I have been doing some more long hauls with it because of the auto hotkey fix. Still on the ground, Marshall. Yeah, it's probably because you've got your altitude cruise up at 43. So when you put the 290 in, it goes up to that speed. Yeah. You'll all see on approach how stable FS Tramp is, and you know, compare that to FSXP. The difficulty is just landing, because as I say, it disconnects the AP at about 100 feet above the runway, so you've just got to be careful that you can actually land it then, because I think sometimes it just drops like a rock and just, you know, it's just like onto the runway, it just smashes onto it, so that's the only awkward part. Yeah, I kind of go through phases with Eurofly. Sometimes I'll have a go at it, then, you know, use FSX and P3D and realise how much better they are. Then go back to Eurofly for a bit, and you know, it's just kind of a. It's just good to change it up a bit. But no, I haven't completed the task packs either. I think I'm still on level 6. But I just like, if I'm going to use Eurofly, I will only do you know, realistic routes. I don't want to do these stupid tasks in, you know, they'll say fly this 5-hour flight in an airspeed ambassador. It's just ugh. I don't think you actually got the citation up properly, did you, last night, Marshall? You just sort of got it up a little bit, but not to cruise. Yeah, I think, like I said, the reason that the citation was reading 1.2 was because of the indicated speed and 43,000 feet. Listen to this view. It's really weird. The aircraft just goes all over the place. Like, what is that view? So weird. Yeah, I don't know whether you can even get FSX on the Mac, actually, whether it'd work. I know you can get Eurofly, but I don't know about FSX and stuff. That will be interesting. I mean, I would imagine it wouldn't work, but I've never tried it. I don't know the first thing about Macs, really. Other than, you know, how to generally navigate them. Oh, we're back up from over the ocean. Because I've got the, I've got my favourite view back. Right there. It's a bit louder than the other one. That view is just like it's just like where is it? It's just like it's like the aircraft's going whizzing somewhere. It's really weird.
S.
I hate the fact that I can't play music. Like usually I would just sit here, relax, put this view on, play some music, but because it's a stream, I can't. Copyright, ugh. I mean, I could obviously risk it, but I have had a video removed because of copyright already, so they do check. Sometimes they don't, but it's a real sort of lottery. You reckon you could do it, Alex? Yeah, that'd be interesting. But yeah, it is expensive, I guess, because you'd have to pay that. Then you've got to pay all the extra to get all the stuff. So yeah, it would be a pretty expensive job. Marshall, you got in the air, good. Let me have a look at this. When you put engine loop sounds fine, but it gets out of sync. Out of sync like how? It's possibly because when you start the right engine and when you start the left engine, it almost seems to start like two sound files, one on the left, one on the right. So if you start one at a different time and then the other a few seconds after, it could not loop properly. I don't know if that's what you mean, but that's something I thought of. It sounds like a yes. As you can see, we've been in cruise. I mean, obviously some of you didn't see climb out, but we've been in cruise for about what, over an hour. The power literally has not moved. And you'll see on descent how well it manages the stuff. Like if this was FSX Pilot now, I'd probably have to go and tune the aircraft. Also, would be going like, you know, or the throttle would just go up and down all the time. Are you aiming for 37? I don't know, Marshall. Maybe that's your plan. Sorry, I don't know. Perhaps it's just going to get there first. I don't know. Alex, yeah, you do have to have a good bit of a RAM to be able to fly and stream. Well, FSX isn't too bad actually on the RAM as if you turn the settings down, but you really do have to turn all the stuff off, like the visuals, as in, you know, turn it right down because we don't need it. So. Jeremy, yeah, I think that's what's happening there, Jeremy. It sounds like it. It's very difficult to fix that. See, when I always make a mod, I try and do the audio so that it has no loops, which is a real difficult thing to do, trust me, but you can get it so that it doesn't click, or you can't tell that it's looped. It sounds all the same. The only thing I could say is try hitting page up and page down almost at the same time. You'd have to try and get it spot on so that they start at exactly the same time, otherwise it won't loop correctly. Or try and edit your audio so it doesn't loop. It depends what audio it is. It's sometimes doable, sometimes not doable. Again, 38,000. I've no idea. Perhaps it's reading the flight plan wrong. Is it leveled off at that, or is that just what it's heading to? It perhaps is going to head to 38,000 after. So you have 32 gigs. What? Is that of RAM? Well, you'll be absolutely fine then. Yeah. You'll be absolutely. You're absolutely sorted.
Yes.
Alright, we'll give it a minute, Marshall. Maybe once it gets to FL372, it'll go up there. Also check your cruise altitude, make sure it's typed correctly, and make sure you click OK. But just we'll see if it levels off at 372, or if it actually climbs. It could just be a restriction, or it could just be the way it's calculated it.
S.
How are we doing? Let's have a look. Oh, we're slowly, painstakingly getting there. This is quite a long flight. It is about 3 hours. So, this is to be expected. Flew this out yesterday. This is the return trip. Jeremy did it. Yeah, you see, this is the problem with Eurofly. You can't get the engine spot on, because if you even using files from Simviation, their files may loop, or you've got to try and stop them from doing that, which is very awkward. And also, even when you get it to work after takeoff, it doesn't quite sound right, if you see what I mean. But that's why, like, my mods, for example, with the A320 and stuff, don't really. They don't, all aspects of it doesn't sound like an A320. You know, takeoff might not, or at cruise it might sound a bit weird, because it's very difficult, unfortunately, to just get a sound pack, get a file out and just dump it in and it work, because of the whole looping problems. It's alright, Alex. Launchpad is nowhere near the aircraft. He's well, he might crash his aircraft, but he's nowhere near my aircraft today. Jeremy, will you click? Yeah, okay. You have to send it to me once you've done. Yeah, you have to. I use Audacity. I don't know what audio software you're using. I usually use Audacity, and you have to really be careful where you trim it, and then use the repeat effect to see what it'll sound like. Because there's nothing more annoying than flying a plane and getting in the air and it goes every few seconds. It's so annoying. Marshall Launchpad is 8. Okay, yeah, let me know how it goes with the whole levelling off. You're using Audacity on Linux. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it is really a pain. It sometimes, you know, means that you can't use a whole sample of audio. So it is really annoying. Right, I'm just going to leave it on this view and go and grab a drink. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll sort out any chat when I get back. I'm back. Jeremy, it's running on the Windows VM. Oh, okay. Yeah. Does that... yeah, so I'd imagine it runs alright. It's just the whole audio thing. Marshall, that's why you used OBS. Yeah, I've noticed with Audacity sometimes if you have your voice in a music track, Audacity's behind sometimes with the two recordings, so the voice is out of sync with the track. A dream about a singing pilot. Oh, what did he sing? ATC or to the passengers? I'm sure they love that. Generally, everyone's fan of it. Yeah, okay, that's good then. So at least you can run it all. It's just the audio. Because the problem with Eurofly is you can either get it to sound good on takeoff, but it doesn't always sound right at cruise. You can get it to sound good at cruise, but it doesn't sound very good at takeoff. So you can't really win. It's a bit of a pain. Like, a lot of my mods are more wind sound and engines in the background, which means it sounds better at cruise, but it doesn't sound as good at takeoff. There's some that are better on takeoff, though. So it's a real sort of balancing act. About your singing captain. Oh yeah, when we flew at Christmas across Europe, we did have a singing captain. He sang all the, like when they say, you know, flight attendants door cross check and ready for departure and blah blah blah. He sang that like he'd sing to them. I was like, what are you doing? And then you got all these flight attendants just laughing. It was yes. Right, okay, very weird. So there's the things these pilots get up to. Although I have heard that the pilots in the US are very different to Europe. Like, the pilots in the US will do some really weird things. Like, for one, they will taxi a lot faster. They'll just bomb it off the end of the runway. Apparently. I've no idea if this is true. It's true, yeah. Apparently they slow down obviously on the runway, like they'll slam on the brakes, but they'll just vacate the runway at like, you know, they're not bothered about their speed, and especially in some of the little E-jets and CRJs. See, it's weird because we don't have the CRJs so much around here, but I'm told they're not good aircraft, CRJs. Like, loads of flyers hate them, but I've never been on one, so I couldn't say. Alex, your text is very... Oh, okay, so yours was very slow. I mean, maybe it depends on the type of aircraft as well. I guess if it's a heavy, they have to go a bit slower and more carefully, you know, around the turns, so...
S.
Wildcat, how do you set up? You can use OBS. Yeah, I would use that OBS. Well, there's various versions. I use OBS Classic, and there's various ways you can do it. You can set up a YouTube account, and just you just need your streaming key off there. Obviously, I mean you've obviously got a YouTube account. You just need your streaming key off YouTube, and you stick that in. Or if you want to stream to multiple platforms other than just YouTube, you can use Restream. I'll be back in just a sec. I'm back, let's have a look at chat. Marshall F3, oh right, okay, yeah, let me know how it goes then. Let's see if you actually level off there. Perhaps it can't climb any higher. Perhaps that's its service ceiling. I mean, it shouldn't be, but that particular citation, it could be. You'll have to look in its aircraft CFG. Oh, it's been so long since I did it, Walk, I'm not sure. It's somewhere probably in your account. You may have to enable it. If you just Google like how to get YouTube streaming key, you should be able to get it. It's like over a year since I did it, so I really can't remember, but you just get it and then copy and paste it into OBS. That'd be good to run different sound profiles with OBS. Actually, I'd quite like to do that. Like I could have, you know, streaming for FSX, streaming for Eurofly, because Eurofly tends to be quieter. See what our actual flight number is. I don't even know. Oh, we're 1003. We're actually what do you call it? Thomas, it's called TUI.
Heading,
It's a
70
European airline.
Distance 782 nm.
Oh, we're getting there.
33,999 feet.
We're not doing too bad actually.
S.
About 700 and something miles, so
S.
about another hour, a little bit over. It should be able to go up to that, Marshall, but perhaps the add-on developer set the service ceiling lower, or maybe it'll climb up there to FL380. Let's see. If that's what's saying you cruise and you've clicked OK, it definitely should. Right, Jeremy says for Wildcat that it's streaming settings under your YouTube dashboard. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I say, it was over a year ago. Well, even more than that actually. Probably, well, again, over 2 years ago since I did it, and then I used Restream. But yes.
S.
I wonder if my bot's here. It doesn't seem to be here. Let me see if I can get it to come. If I put exclamation mark Twitter, it should load, but it doesn't seem to. Not that it makes a difference, but it just puts the... it just does a few things that are helpful. You haven't decided what you're going to put in the live stream yet to make... Yeah. Well, I guess it's always good to have a theme.
S.
Yeah, Marshall did Patreon. Oh no, it did. There we go. Nightbot is there. It did work. Marshall did aircraft winner. He's here. Oh, Alex Williamson's Blind Adventures won apparently with Marshall's winner command. I don't know what he won. I've no idea. That's quite a good command actually, winner. Because like, well, not that I ever do competitions really. Like, I don't know what I could give away, but early access to the Eurofly 3 beta perhaps. Not that I have it yet, but when I do, that could be fun. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know Marshall was going to do it. There's no sort of thing to win, but yes. It'd be nice to do some sort of giveaway or competition, but I don't know what I like. There's nothing really that... I mean, I guess I could do like, you know, you get to pick the next flight that we do or something, but I guess that's sort of unfair because I already have that on my Patreon, so that'll be sort of overriding any existing patrons, so yeah, I won't do that. I don't know what I could use that for. Like I say, maybe in the future. Yeah, we do have the TSS citation sounds now, actually, so at some point in the future I'll have to stream with them. I was going to say, Marshall, yeah, but that's part of my Patreon, and there's also the flight request form for that. Perhaps if we ever need a flight and I don't know what to do, I'll do that. But yeah. Oh, I'm making some merch. Oh gosh, I don't have the money to do that. The channel's doing well, but not that well. Some merch. Oh, that'll be fun. Blind Flight Simmer t-shirts and mugs, yes. Perhaps in the future. Perhaps as a very sort of special thing I'll look at that. But I mean, like, they wouldn't, I don't know if it'd even be worth it, because they wouldn't be like mass produced. It'd just be like, you know, 10 or 20 of them and that'd be it. But we could look at it, perhaps, yeah. Launchpad t-shirt. Yeah, we could have Blind Flight Simmer t-shirts, an optional Launchpad, you know, mugs or something, but I don't know what they usually do. It'd be quite easy to do a Launchpad, you know, line, because you could have a load of, you know, just aircraft in flames, or, you know, just crashes. Expensive, yeah. Well, like I say, I might look at it in the future. I mean, it's just the whole, like, you'd have to get it made, you'd have to get it shipped to various places, and then it's. But I mean, it's something to look at, I guess. I'd have to get a design somehow. It'd probably be a very basic design, but you know. As long as it had Blind Flight Simmer on it and the sort of an aircraft of some description, we'd have to decide between us what aircraft. Thousands of ideas. Oh wow, whoa. We could certainly get you to do a design then. Can you hear this aircraft from tower? Not really. What did your plane do, Marshall? Out with Lucha, yeah. I mean, I've never been too big on design, like with the whole theme for the channel. I'm more interested in the content. But if we did get like, I don't know what we do, a T-shirt. I don't know what the best thing is. It'd be good to have some sort of like tactile element to it, but we'll see. You refuse to go hand in very, very weird. I mean, depends what citation it is. It's really weird though. I mean, possibly it's the flight plan you're using. Possibly it's limiting it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be the weight, Marshall. Maybe it's too heavy, or maybe it is the FP you're on that's got a limit to it. Type in the YouTube. It may do, or I don't know if you'd have to log into your YouTube account and get it from there, possibly. It's a C560. Oh, okay, I'll look that up, but that's... yeah, possibly weight or possibly the FP. Could try a sim brief one. I mean, I really couldn't say because I haven't been up that high, but... Alex, second and middle, yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly you could do that, Alex. But we'll see. Oh dear, Marshall. Okay, so it's a shame I wasn't in that lesson. Sounds hilarious. fair, Marshall, it says the service ceiling should be 45,000 feet for that, so you should be able to go really high with the citation. Possibly, yeah, it's possibly your FP. If you did online flight planner, do you think it's perhaps because you did because you had the altitude range? Perhaps. I don't know, but it could be that. But it really should be able to go higher. Oh dear. Dangerous above set to 38,000. Yeah, it could still be online FP because I haven't used their flight plans. It could also have been the altimeters, but I don't think that should influence it. Or perhaps it was too heavy, Marshall. Perhaps it just couldn't actually physically get up there. I don't know. I mean, unless you chucked it all out. Very weird. How are we doing with the distance? We're getting there. 630. Alright, Wildcat just, all the way around. Wildcat Jeremy just posted a message in the chat, which he's tagged you in. It's about the dashboard. Yes, it was it was a fun day at school. And by the sounds of it, Marshall had an even more fun end to the day.
S. S. %, RAM used, CPU at 43.1%.
Right, I'm back. I just went for a quick drink. Alex wasn't a very good driver. Oh, he turned into 16 hours. Bloody hell. For one drive. Well, Cat said it. Oh, maybe it's 24 hours to verify your account. I can't remember whether it has to do that. because I think mine was already verified before I got the streaming key, but possibly. Don't know if there's a way around that. It has to. Oh, it has to be approved, does it? Oh, right. Yeah, you may have to wait for that long then, Wildcat, unfortunately, or for a bit of that. It's a bit annoying, I guess, but YouTube being YouTube, I guess it's to avoid spam, but ugh. Descending good. Yeah, that's really weird. You couldn't get it past 37,200. I don't get that at all. You have to try on a different plan, like a sim brief, and see if you can actually climb it higher. Smash, I got your messages.
S.
You can also see with this that FS Tramp is a lot better on the CPU, because it seems better than FSXP. It runs a lot better with the RAM and the CPU, so it's better for actually streaming, I guess.
S. 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 A. 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 S. S.
Just a one movie video. Oh right, okay. Oh, yeah, that's yeah. You see, that's the problem. YouTube, they have to do these things because of the spam and the rubbish.
Yes.
Hey Marshall, with your cruise altitude, were you making sure that it was set to 38,000 and clicking OK? Because if you think you set it to 38,000 or whatever, you seem to have to be able to click. You have to like click save for it to take effect if you launch FS Tramp, which is weird. I imagine you were, but it's just I don't know why it was doing that. You'd have to try it on another plan.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen on YouTube. Like I said, I think one of my videos got copyrighted for a song that I played or something as an intro. But I'm not really bothered about it when I'm streaming, because the most important thing is to stream, not the archive. Oh, we've got to be there soon.
S.
Oh, we're back over the sea.
434 NM.
434. We are slowly getting there. I just want to listen to music so much, but I hate it because I can't. Try that citation again, Marshall, on the sim brief FP and tell me if it works. That's very weird if it doesn't work. Like I say, maybe it was because of your fuel and payload. It wouldn't be able to get that high. Or, you know, I don't know. That's really weird. It shouldn't do that. Wildcat, yes. Enable, yes, you want to do that. That's right, because you first have to enable it before you can get your stream key. Apologies, I just had to just go and look at something on my phone. What would be the best microphone for streaming? I mean, if you just do OBS, you can actually record with OBS, so you can kind of get, you can kind of see like how it works. Any headset microphone is good because it's an all-in-one. You can get all sorts of mics really. I mean, there's some mics like the Snowball and stuff that are good just for general stuff. It really depends. Just a good headset really with a microphone is usually good. Drizzle to downpour. I have to have a look. Is it no copyright? Or like, have I got to play it off stream? Nick, hi, welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, Alex saying hi to Nick. And we're pretty much done with the chat. I just had to catch up with it there. But yes, we are all good. Ooh, let's see how a flyby does. Not bad. And Nick, yeah, the Blue Yeti is also good. Yeah, I guess it depends what your budget is, like what you want to do. But there are some very good ones out there, also some very bad ones. So, like this microphone now that I'm using is a bit. It's not the best at all, but it does the job. It's just a good headset with a mic attached. So. Yeah, I don't think we've got long. Yeah, 368 till we arrive, so we'll be getting ready on the arrival in about, I don't know, 200 miles. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, like I say, it really depends what you want to do. But for this, it's very good, you know, setup because I haven't got a microphone in the way. I've got this headset so I can hear all the stuff coming through the computer, and it's kind of it doubles as that. And it's very good as well, of course, because I do a lot of like team talk and Skype, so it's it works well for that. Launchpad does it again. Yeah, exactly. Look, this is the kind of a thing. Launchpad crashes his plane every time we stream. There's always a crash or a breakage or so there's always something. He's crashed it again. Oh, I know. Yeah, Wildcat. Yeah, that does happen a lot when you start UFI. Trust me, you have a lot of crashes. Nick, you heard of who was in college? I was in college. I'm not in college. I am in. Well, what would you call it in? I don't know what you call it. In America, it's a sort of grey area because I'm going in a few months from like secondary school to sixth form. It's called sixth form. It's basically like, well, I guess it's like college. I guess you call it college, yeah. But yeah, it's going alright. Just wish you, yeah, there's a lot of airports to UFI doesn't have, and some of them are pretty big as well. But you know, that'll all sort itself out in due course. The chat software, oh, they broke it. They've broken it over time. First they made it so it didn't read the names, and now they've made it so that it works for about 15 minutes, then it just crashes, and it won't, well, it doesn't crash, it just won't read the messages, so I'm having to read it with my phone. I think it might need an update, I have to see, but it's Restream chat's just been a real pain recently. I don't know what's going on with it. You're gonna find a new chat. Yeah, that'd be great, Nick. I mean, Restream chat is it's just too buggy. There's too many issues with it. Like I try and use it on a lot of streams, and you know, it might work for one, but then the other it crashes, and it's they've ruined it basically by updating it, and it's not the same, which is a shame because it reads out Twitch and YouTube. But if we could find some better software, it would it'd be a lot easier, because I do like having the chat read out. It makes it a lot easier for me and everyone else. Yeah, it stops reading the messages, and then when I try and relaunch it, it gives a Chrome error. So it's very unpredictable. The way to get around. You mean the ones that come up on the storm radar, or do you mean just the ones that Oh, that's another thing I made for Eurofly. I made a new turbulence sound that actually rattles the plane around. You hear it going like and smashing it to pieces, basically. A little bit dramatic, but yeah, it doesn't quite smash it to pieces, but you hear it being chucked about. Do you mean those or the storm radar ones? If it's the storm radar, you can just turn like 50, 60, whatever degrees to the left or right of it. If it's just a big storm, not really, you just have to fly through it. You could try trying to climb or descend according to where the clouds are, but other than that, not really. Right, oh dear, Nick. Hopefully you feel better soon.
Yes.
Come upon the storm radar, yeah, like I say, just go to the right or left of it, so you can use the shift and right, shift and left, and go like 60 degrees or so, 70 degrees until you hear it right off. So, you know, you don't have to move completely out of it so you don't hear it at all, but just make sure it's well on your right or well on your left. You'll hear it go up in pitch, but obviously you'll be avoiding it, and then once it's gone you can resume back on course. And as it kind of drifts off further to the left or the right, you can start turning your plane more and more back on course.
Track flight project. Distance 280 nm. 29 degrees. Distance 33,999 feet. Rank 01 FS Tramp.
Yeah, I have it off for Wildcat for the long hauls, because obviously if I'm not at the computer I don't want to have to deal with, well I can't deal with that and we'll just die, but yeah, if you turn it back on shorter flights you will get it every so often. Hear that noise, by the way? That do. That means it's selected a new waypoint. Yeah, it's when it selects a new waypoint or like turns onto a new airway. It's because of this new AP.
S. 48.3% RAM used. CPU at 43%.
CPU's doing great actually.
Notification from Skype. Sarah BVI pilots. I did the split but did the touchdown go window.
I assume that was Sarah talking about that. Distance to airport,
33,999 feet. Ground 496.
where the heck is it? 214. It will descend a lot later than usual on this FP.
Notification from Skype. Marshall Fairbrother and BVI pilots. I crashed my plane and you should have seen my rage in the chat window.
Yes, well, we'll see how well this touchdown goes. I've got to get this. The reason I'm doing this flight, by the way, is to get this plane back, because as I said, I took it out yesterday to Gatwick to Lanzarote as a sort of test with FS Tramp, and it worked perfectly, but now I've got to get the thing back. Star Wars reference, yeah, I thought so, but I have never watched Star Wars. That is my confession for the day. Obviously I've read about it in the plot, but I don't never watched it. 191. Let's leave it in this view. Jesse's in the stream as well. Hi Jesse. Everyone's coming in for the approach to watch me smash it in with FS Tramp. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can show you how good it is. Right, it's doing fine now, as you can see with the power. It's been in exactly the same position for ages, just cruising along. Oh wow, that's a first for you then, Alex, with that airport. It's been pretty quiet. New waypoint again. Not much happened really. Marshall crashed his plane. I don't know, he had to leave the computer or something and he just crashed it. We've just been cruising along, having a chat, nothing major. Okay, Marshall tried to break his headset. Apparently. One thing I have noticed with FS Tramp though is it does seem to descend very late. Sometimes it can be about 80 miles out and you'll still be at, you know, flight level 340 or whatever. So it does descend very late, but I think it's because it sort of vectors itself. Yeah, the chat is pretty crowded, Barack. Probably because I posted it in a few places. Because I'm demoing FS Tramp. I keep trying to dictate FS Tramp and it puts FS Trump, and I'm like, oh. Why did that is? I do not care about Donald Trump particularly because it doesn't affect me, but he's his one major contribution to my life is causing dictation to put that every single time. Very annoying. Chips and yeah, sounds good, sir. Sounds good. I ate earlier. I had steak pie. Alright, that's why. Yeah, I have to keep trying to catch up with it. I need the restream chat more than ever, but there we go. To use brown screen input. Yeah, I guess. I'm not very fast at that. Well, I am fast at typing braille on the normal braille machine or braille display, but I've never really got the hang of it. Like, obviously I always go back and edit if I use dictate, and I either type or dictate normally, but it depends. Pigeon apple pie. No, it's like a it's just like a pie with like you know, like gravy in it, but it's got like chunks of steak in it, like the meat. It's just like it's just pastry with like steak and gravy and whatever inside. See, like, how far are we out?
Altitude 152.
152. You see, usually I would have started descending now, but FST doesn't, which is just fine because it will descend. It just does it late. So that's something to note if you are using it. Don't worry if you think, why are we not descending? It will. It just takes a bit of time to sort itself out. Actually, is that us descending there? I think we are. I think we're heading down. Yeah, the engines are rolling back. You hear them. Let's see what we're doing. Yep, we're going down. It's set to 30,900. Minus 1,800. And, well, down we go, I guess. Into Gatwick. So we have started our descent. Beautiful. You see, it does it automatically. Brings the power back. Not too much. So good at controlling the power. Yes, but because of planes, really. Some planes either don't work in P3D or I haven't transferred them, or I have sound packs, you know, that are... This sound pack actually is very old. There's Gus. Yes, it's very old, this sound pack, so it works in P3D, but there are a few glitches. Also, I haven't tested FS Tramp with FSX much. I've done it more with P3D because I flew the A320 and stuff in P3D. So, but it works with both. New waypoint, so new restriction probably. Yep, we're now going down to 26,400. You see it's got all these restrictions. It's heading down at minus 1200 to get there, and it'll start reducing the speed. Whatever, you can see the power's very stable. We are on the way down anyway. Yes, probably Marshall.
Notification from Sky, Marshall Fairbrother, DM Michael Bay, Skype window.
Also, Borak, FSX seems to be less intensive on the computer when streaming. Like, I don't think it's a concern because it's absolutely fine. Like, the CPU's not, right, it's a 44. So if I was to use P3D, I think it would be absolutely fine. P3D is a strange one because there's good things about P3D and bad things. The good thing is you can minimize P3D, and when you do, it minimizes the impact on the CPU. So it's good to do long hauls in P3D, but it takes more out of the CPU when you're actually in the sim. FSX, it takes less out of the CPU when you're in the sim, but if you minimize it, it pretty much stays the same. So FSX is more constant. So for streaming, I would do more short haul in FSX, but I don't think it's making a massive difference. Like I say, it depends what aircraft. Like, you've probably noticed when I'm flying the A320 family, I usually use P3D because I have them in P3D. The sounds work really well. It's just a really good experience, and it'll work even better with this FS Tramp program. But some other aircraft like this, I just have in FSX. And I have so many aircrafts in FSX, it'd just be a pain to transfer them all over to P3D. So I sort of just do it periodically. Alex, maybe that's why they could use some cramp on them. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I don't know where they got that name from. FS Tramp. Like, in what? I don't know if it stands for something like, you know, it's an acronym, but it's a really weird thing. Let's see how we're doing. So we're going down at minus 1400, still heading for this 26,400 restriction. And as you can see, the Mach speed is now at 0.73, so it's bringing that back beautifully as well. Right, I'll be back in a second. I'm back. Marshall, am I considering buying Tramp? Well, yes, when my 20 flight simulator sessions expire. It's a really weird system that they have, because it's like it's basically you have 20 FS sessions to trial, then you have to buy a license for either 1, 2, 3 or 4 years. It's not a permanent thing, so it's, you have to buy it, use it, you know, then if you want to carry on, buy another one. So I'm just going to buy the 1 year, just while I'm still testing it out if I run out of sessions. But it's working just fine on this trial at the minute. Right, I can hear we're slowing down a bit.
21,600.
Yeah, we've got a new restriction.
S.
can see on descent the power has moved like really small amounts. It's literally the same place and it's just descending so easily. It's literally easy for me. I can just sit here sipping my tea, do nothing. I don't have to mess about with FSX Pilot. It's pretty much just a virtual complete autopilot. Probably, yeah, you could do anything while flying, so you could just click fly plan, get it in the air, pull the flaps and gear up, walk away, come back, you know, 3 hours later and find your plane on approach. It's that automatic, which is great in some ways. Like, obviously I like to do manual flying sometimes and do a bit more kind of hands-on, but this is great because I get more flights done. Like, FSX Pilot was good in some ways, you know, in the way that I could do manual speed on approach and have a bit more hands-on, but it took so long to you know, just dick about and get your flight plan and sort it all out, and and then it would, you know, you'd have to tune your aircraft, and like by the time you do all that you'd be like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. But with this you just load it up, off you go. So I can get more flights done. I can just load it up, start the flight. If I've got work to do I can get on with that. If I've got, you know, studies, whatever, it'll just do it. It's a lot easier.
18,500, 18,000 minus 2100 FT/min.
Well, we're going down at a pretty good rate here. You will see FS Tramp, by the way, descended at pretty good rates. The highest I think I've seen is about minus 3,500. Don't worry about that. It will do that. It's relatively normal. They wouldn't perhaps quite go that much in real life, but in situations where they really needed to catch up, they would.
295.
So don't worry about that. Don't think like, oh my god, we're dropping out of the sky. It's just trying to meet the restriction. Nick, you're back. Okay, great. Well, that's good. You're just in time for the. Well, we're on descent, so we will be coming in for the approach pretty soon. With FSXP, yeah, exactly. Well, you've got to be like with FSXP. You've got to be there until you hit cruise, because you've got to sort out all the speed and altitude. And once you hit cruise, you're probably all right. You can leave it, but you've got to get back to descend it. So. But yeah, the only thing is with, like I said, with landing is how it disconnects the AP. See, it really depends, I think, on the aircraft and the way you do it. So there's no guarantee that the landing will be perfect. You know, I've had it before where FSX almost counts it as a crash. You hear like a bang and you touch down. It's very rare that it will do that, especially if you learn how to control the landing. But it's just a bit hit and miss. So don't be surprised if anything like that happens. Right, we're definitely slowing down because I can hear the wind decreasing. Also do that, that's when like an element changes, that's like the progress MVDA beeps. It's a bit weird that it does that. Right, we have a new restriction, 15,300, which it's now going to meet perfectly, of course. You can see it slowed us down. The power's coming back a bit more, just to get us nice and ready for this. Of course we want to be 250 by the time we cross 10,000, which it will be. just think now with FSXP we'd have to be initiating the approach, you know, setting altitude, setting the speed, bringing it back manually, getting ready for a manual speed, whereas we can just like sit back and watch the views. So, plus of course it's following the restrictions on this star. Still here, good Marshall, yeah. I don't think we'll do any more flights after we touch down because it's already 25 to 10 here, so by the time we get down, shut off the engines and do the, you know, stream off, it'll be about 10-ish, so yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But it's been a good stream. It'll be getting on for about, well, I don't know, what, 4 hours by the time we're all finished up. Getting on for that. Of course, you need to be present when the FST application is doing your approach because you've got to do your flaps and gear. I'll show you when I would usually do flaps and gear. I'd recommend you stick, you know, like notches out when you sort of reach about 240 knots and then just gradually increase them. When you're at about 2,500, 2,000 feet, you probably want to chuck out your gear just to get yourself all configured. Of course, it will add more power when you do that just because the aircraft's heavier, but that's just normal. New waypoint, so I'd imagine a new restriction. 12,900 now, which it's going to meet. See, minus 2,000. Let's see what our altitude is. So you see 56 nautical miles. We're a little bit high, but it'll vector us. Altitude is just coming through 15,000 feet.
Probably page 27 at 15,010 FT minutes.
New waypoint, usually when it's a new waypoint on the descent it means a new restriction. You can see 10,000 exactly is the restriction, minus 1,200, it's just sorting that out, and you'll see that airspeed changed to 250 so that we're at that before we cross 10,000. Yeah, it probably would be, although the only thing with ATC is if they give you heading changes and stuff on the fly, it's not so easy because this is more about following a flight plan. It's not as easy as to just go and type in a new heading. You have to mess about with it and it takes a while to get it sorted. So if they follow the flight plan, it'll work great. But if they said, you know, right now, okay, turn right heading 330. I wouldn't do it because we're on this flight plan and I'd be messing it up to do that. FSXP is better for that. But in terms of following a flight plan, this is great. I think we're levelling off at 10,000 now because it's just increased the power. And also, yeah, we've decreased our speed by the looks of it to 250. Which is perfect. Okay, good. That fits well then, Alex. You can follow me on Project Flight actually, Marshall. If you get my stats up, you can follow me on approach. I don't know what I think it's, I can't remember what the call sign is, but you know, if you put me in, it'll pop up. Right, so we're at 250, ready for crossing 10,000 feet. So we're all sorted with that. I think we've already crossed that. Just about to cross it. You can see 350 knots is obviously the actual ground speed, but indicated we're at 250. More descending. You can see we've got a new restriction there, 4,700, going down slowly to reach that. So this is our next restriction as we head into Gatwick. That's a pretty low one, 4,700, so that's getting pretty much right into the airport's airspace. You can hear the engines a lot more on the inside now because of the because we've passed 10,000. You'll be able to hear them even more once we're actually on approach. I think Project Fly works very well with this as well, because you can see the interface here is good. It gives you the info you need, but it's a little bit clunky because you have to use screen review. This kind of stuff can get a bit all over the place. So Project Fly gives you all the info you need, like on distance and altitude, in a very sort of clean view. Right, so we're looking good. As you can see, minus 1,000 to get to the 4,700 restriction. Still at 250, but you'll see it start to reduce the speed soon. You know, incrementally, ready for the approach. I think the approach speed for this aircraft is set to 140 knots, so that's what we should be at.
Minus 1,250. Minus 1,000.
The progress bar is basically when something changes, so if it dials up or down the vertical speed or something, it will do that, although it's weird because it only seems to do it some of the time. Yes, I do, Marshall. I think it was off FS Freeware, I can't remember, but it does have the two engine variants. So you can see we're now at 235, so I'm going to stick out our first notch of flaps. Let's get these going out. because we are slowing down. You
235.
can see, so I want to get the flaps out relatively soon. Right, let's get ready for this. So I'll idle the throttle when the autopilot comes out a little bit after, and then we'll do reverse thrust and braking when we reach the runway.
230.
So you can see 230. So we'll go another notch of flaps. Just keep putting them out. Of course you'll hear it add more power, which is what the rear one would do, just to keep us level and stable. We'll go full flap for the approach like I usually do.
225.
See 225. Still aiming for that restriction, so it's bringing the speed back beautifully. There goes another waypoint. So you'll see it's set the altitude to 3000, which it's now trying to get to. So we'll do some more flap. Stick out quite a bit actually, as you'll hear. Now it will put in the power. Don't worry about that, because it's got to keep us. It's got to keep the speed. So I've noticed it does tend to put in quite a bit of power there. But that's just because it's, see, it's aiming for 215. 3000 still. Looking good. Yeah, but it will do the progress, especially on approach, because it's dialing stuff up and down. Right, I'm not looking at Chad anymore, so if you are posting stuff, I will read it after I land. Right, I'm just going to go full flap, just to start getting it configured as we reach 210 knots. So it's probably not going to like the full flap. Yeah, there we go, it's adding the power. But that's alright, it has to do that.
57%.
It'll bring it back. But you can see it's a lot better than FSXP. It's just doing it slowly. Aiming for 205. So in a little while, not quite yet, but I will put the gear down at about 2,000 feet. Right, we're looking good. Pretty stable. Flaps are all out, so we're pretty much configured except gear, which obviously we'll do. Right, so you can see there it's set the altitude to 100, so that's the final waypoint. And it's descending to get there. It's aiming for 200 on the speed.
44%.
You can go to Project Fly and just check my altitude.
Altitude 10 nm. 3031 feet.
3000.
Red 01 FS Tramp.
Which is perfect.
Property page 300.
So we won't quite put the gear down yet.
Fly holding M. Fly NM. Fly holding M. Autopilot map 2. 00 HDG.
So you can see we're just descending a little bit. Minus 1500 now to get there. 190 it's aiming for. So it's going to slow us right down by the looks of it.
Minus 1500 185.
185, it's really slowing us down.
48%.
Right, I'm going to go up here now, right up to the top so I can see my altitude as we go down. Keep going up through this rubbish. Blah blah blah, where is it? There. So that's the altitude, I'll keep checking. And it's going to reduce the speed right back to 140, but I'm not going to keep checking that, I'm just going to focus on this altitude. Yeah, perfect. Let's give it gear down. Gear down. Just get it fully configured now, it can sort itself out. Right, so we're going to hear it add a little bit of power. Not too much though. It's pretty good actually with this aircraft. Right, pretty much stable. So as you can see, coming through 1800.
Holly, 1,530 feet.
So it's guiding us in towards the runway. Pretty much on final, I would imagine now.
Tilt 1,260 feet.
Okay, about 1250. So again, about 100 feet above the altitude, the runway, sorry, you'll hear the AP come out, the plane, it'll do the usual when it comes out, in which case I'll keep an eye on the altitude. Okay, so we're coming through just about 1,000. As you can see, the power's come back nicely. We're all configured. So if you weren't configured by now, I'd be a bit worried. But we're all sorted.
710 feet.
Okay, 700. You'll hear it say ... on landing, which is just because I'm pressing the dot key or the full stop to brake.
570 feet.
Okay.
490 feet. 430 feet. 370 feet.
There goes the AP.
300 feet.
You can see we're still coming down.
270 feet.
Let's idle the throttle. Touchdown. Let's go with that. Reverse thrust. Didn't sound too bad. A little bit bumpy, but it'll do. Also, you can hear it saying ... It's just because I'm doing the brakes. That's the reverse thrust, obviously. Reverse thrust can come out. Just brake a little bit more. Put the parking brake on. We should be all nicely stopped. Let those engines just idle. I would say that's pretty much us down. If we look at the altitude, 210 feet, which is obviously probably ground level. So that's us down. Let's get rid of FST.
Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
So you heard I just idled the throttle. Let's get the flaps up. I could spawn us to a gate, but I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to go into all the menus, so we're just going to stop here. Passengers, you're going to just have to walk. Just jump off the aircraft. Of course, once I've switched off the engines, and you can just get off. Not really bothered about you. Right, engines off. RB211s have done us proud, as usual. And we're going to see the terrible landing rate on Project Fly. It wasn't too bad, actually.
New notification from Skype. Sarah BVI pilots. Nice landing to your window.
Yeah, it sounded alright. Right, that's us pretty much shut down. Let's have a look then. So, 1 that pretty much means you're at the airport. Obviously, we're not quite at the airport because we're on the runway. That's fine. 0 knots, so we've obviously stopped. So let's look at the terrible landing rate. Ow, yeah, minus 492. It didn't quite sound that bad, but I'll take it. That's about what FSXP would do, to be honest. And it flew it better. It didn't sound that bad. It's always really weird with Project Fly because it doesn't sound bad and it gives you a bad landing rate. Then if it sounds really bad, it gives you a good one. But I'll take that. That'll do. Let's complete the flight. Yeah, it sounded good. Anyway. So, oh, we were at 7 alpha. So, block time was 3 hours 32 minutes, which is about right, blah 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 blah, 1,462 nautical miles, minus 492, ow, whatever. We had 188 people, departed at 18:31 Zulu, arrived 21:54 Zulu. If we look at the landing, so there was only one landing, we didn't bounce. Obviously that, 1.56 G, 0 degrees pitch, which is always good, so that'll do. Yeah, and 130 knots. It's all about, if you've got a joystick, I would probably connect that and pull it back a little bit. It's all about knowing when to idle the throttle, because you don't want to idle the throttle too soon, but then you don't want to do it too late either. But it didn't sound too bad, and we stopped. It was very easy to do. So, let me just leave this on the outside view, and let me just read chat. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that approach with FST. It's very easy to do. how do you do? Okay, so reverse thrust is F2 when you touch down. Brake is just the full stop, which is why it kept going ... when I'd landed, because I was holding that down to brake. And then once you've pretty much stopped, you can just do the parking brake. Borak, yeah, they are very quiet in this aircraft, Borak. They don't make a lot of noise. I could hear them with the headset on, but especially with the wind, they are very quiet. Good. Yeah, it sounded good. It went pretty well, I think. Like I say, a little bit more forceful than I would have liked, but this is only like my, what, 4th flight with FST, so I'm sure they'll get better, and it sounded good. Oops. Oh, get here. Just lock the screen. Can you turn on the parking gear and apply full power? You mean the parking brake? Like, can I just rev it up to full power? Well, I tell you what, Borak, if you go back to what... Well, actually, you might not be able to. Once the video's archived, if you go back and watch the takeoff, you'll be able to hear it at full power. If I had the parking brake on, nothing would happen. It would just probably, after, you know, 5-10 minutes, start making a really horrible noise, because I probably broke the brakes or whatever. Right, so what else do we need to do? That's pretty much it. I haven't got anything else open. We can turn the avionics off in the aircraft. But we're back here in Gatwick, and that's pretty much it. So another flight with the FS Tramp is complete. Very good. It worked flawlessly. Landing, like I say, a little bit more forceful, but it worked great and all sounded good. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to end it here because it's about 10 o'clock. But I may come back over the weekend. I may come back, you know, next week if not. But the FS Tramp is a very good add-on. It seems it has its flaws, just like FS Pilot does. But it's very good for what it does. Right. I will see you all in the next stream. Thank you for all the support. We've had a very good stream with the chat. So I'll see